And hello, today Wakasm plays something new, Sprawlopolis. This is my button shy collection, which I keep inside of this in case you decide you like this idea. Basically, all my wallet games I put inside these little nifty containers. We've got Sprawlopolis, Agropolis, Naturopolis, Combolopolis. I love the button shy games. I mean, we have a lot of games in here that I guess we could like cover if we really wanted to, make a whole long video out of it, I guess. So if that's something that would interest you, let me know. While I love their games, I don't love their cases or their wallets. Originally, I did when they first came out with their, I don't know, whenever I discovered them a long time ago. I have a lot of non-solo games that I kind of stockpiled on in the beginning. Then kind of, there we go. Why is okay? Focus. So this is how I store it pretty much. I put each wallet game in its own little spot, and then I just use the wallet as like the top piece, and then usually have the instructions for the different games in their own little sleeves. And the reason why I do it this way is because the wallets don't hold the expansions. That's when the wallet concept started falling apart. They make the wallet so small that once you have expansions for these games, they just don't fit. That is why this is my go-to storage solution for these button shy 18 card games. Another thing I don't love about button shy games is sometimes it's very hard to quickly identify expansions. They did an okay job on this one, but they don't always do it. For instance, like this card, if you were just looking at it, you wouldn't know that it's part of the, I think it's the Landmarks expansion. But yeah, Button Shy has a bunch of expansions. They have the Interstates, the Roadwork expansion, the Construction Zones, the Rectar expansion, which is just a single card, this one. Points of Interest, that's the name of that one. Beaches, which is this one. Then they have the core game. And if you haven't played in a while, then mixing all these in can be problematic. So we are not going to do that for today, but we will at some point mix all these in. So we're going to put the Interstate to the side. We'll put the Beaches to the side. And we're going to put them to the side, more to the side, so that we don't make a mess. We're going to put Rectar to the side. We'll put Roadwork to the side, which is this one. And then Construction Zones, where are those? I think these are Construction Zones, if I remember correctly. And then Rectar and Points of Interest. So that should leave us with the base game, assuming no cards got mixed up. I have these all in order. So we are going to shuffle them and we will play, and I will teach you how we play this game. So first things first, some channel upkeep why I do this. Hopefully this works. There we go. Special thanks to my couple patrons who've stuck with me so far. My film schedule has been a little bit slow because my main job, the job I've been at for 11 years, the one that I used to actually pay the bills, has kind of blown up past couple months. But we had to, well, not me, my boss decided to fire a few people and didn't hire new people. So I have taken over like a lot of duties of people that have been in the company. And then someone else who's been with me for 11 years has jumped ship to a new job, which great for them. I should be doing the same thing. I just haven't found a new job yet. So if you're looking to hire, let me know. So yeah, my job has kind of exploded, and my job was already kind of on a fixed timeline. There's been a lot of changes in the work that I do, specifically the industry that I work for. And so I kind of expected to lose my job in the past year. I haven't yet, but I do expect to at some point in the next year lose my job or be forced to find a new job. So in the short term, it's taken over all my time trying to cover all these additional roles. Maybe the fact that I'm covering all these additional roles will extend my job for longer, but the downside to it is it's just made my life a bit hectic. I'm hoping that recovers soon, but that's why I haven't been filming as crazily as I was. Well, I guess I was never filming that crazily, but it's been a little bit slower. But my hope is to get board game content up more frequently. That's the housekeeping part. Anyway, let's talk about Sprawlopolis. The way this works, very simply, you take 3 cards, you can choose them, or you can take them at random. And we are doing it at random, but this game has a kind of a cool progression system that you can tap into. It's especially cool if you don't use the expansions. Once you start using the expansions, it gets kind of ridiculous. But basically, every 3 cards will kind of give you like what you need to do to score. But they also kind of create a combination. Like this is scenario 1 for 18. So if I beat this scenario, that's one of, I think it's like 870 different combinations that these 18 cards can be combined into. So if you want some sort of progression, the idea is you just kind of play every single combination, like track how well you did, and go back through the combinations again, beating all the ones that you didn't beat the first time, so forth and so on. Okay. Second part about this is another game that has a difficulty system, which I guess I will switch to this for. Let me try to show it on camera here. So there is a scaling difficulty. For an easier game, you can not lose points, and for a harder game, you can only score one group of like the largest zone type, which gives this an interesting thing that you can do, and that you can just play and then score yourself against easy, normal, or hard, which is something that I like to do too in a lot of these games. I really don't like games that make you commit to a difficulty up front. Well, I don't really dislike it, but I don't know. I find that, I don't like replaying the same scenario or the same thing at a harder difficulty, or not at a harder difficulty, at a different difficulty. The games where it is possible to do that with, I almost always do that with. So that's just something that we're going to be doing for this one. Anyway, so let's explain how this game works. Basically, we want to score points, and these are our conditions for scoring points. So first things first, we have the outskirts. We get 1 point for every road that does not end at the end of at the edge of a city, and then lose a point for every road that ends at the end of the city. So if you look at this, all the roads that are kind of going off the map, we're losing points, and all the roads that are in the middle of the map we're gaining a point. In addition, it's per road, not like per tile. So notice that these 3 right here is 1 road, so that will be simply 1 point. So we basically just want to have all of our roads kind of looping or existing in the middle of our town. Okay. What's interesting with this one, is that roads normally you lose points for. So this one kind of either makes roads twice as bad, depending on how you build them, or they kind of negate the loss of points that you have. And I didn't say it, our target goal, where we're trying to beat, is the total of these 3 cards. So it's 18 plus 4 plus 1. So this card only adds 1 point to our total score. So the reason being is that we don't really get a lot of points from it, but we also can lose a lot of points from it. I don't know. It's kind of like a net neutral card, which is, why we only get 1 point for it. It's also very hard to play around. So then we have Block Party, which score points per group of 4 corner-to-corner blocks of the same type. You may score multiple groups of the same type, and block may apply to more than 1 group. So basically, we can get 7 points or we can lose 8 points, and this adds 4 points to our total. So if we completely ignore this, we'll lose 8 points, and if we go after it, we will get 7 points. So yeah, we're just basically trying to make these 4-color squares for that. And then we have Sprawlopolis, which is the other end of the cards, because it's an 18-card game, which is also what the name of the game is what the name of the game is called. Yeah, the game is called Sprawlopolis. This is what the name of the game is named after. There we go. I can speak. Anyway, add the number of blocks to your longest row to the number of blocks in your longest column, and then score that many points. So we want to make this town really big to score this, and we also want groups of blocks, and we want all of our roads to be in the middle. Probably will be difficult to do. All right, so now that we covered the scoring conditions, let's cover how we play. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to get a hand of 3 cards every turn. We're going to get a hand of 3 cards every turn. You know what? I got to get this camera closer to me to stretch all the way across to be able to hold cards up. Anyway, You're gonna get a hand of 3 cards. Notice that all the cards are also gold cards, so I guess there is an element of memorization if you really want to put the effort into it. I never will, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But most of the cards are gonna have roads, and then they're gonna have color. I think they're called, are these called blocks, squares? I forget what they're called. It's been a while since I've had to vocally say it. Yeah, these are blocks. Okay. Making sure I wasn't missaying the keywords. So this has got a green. So yeah, so this is great. Now I'm gonna have to look this up too. We got residential. You think my Sims, having played SimCity before, I would know what these are all called. Why can't I talk today? What is going on? What these are all called. There we go. Actually, do they even have official? Yeah, commercial, industrial, parks, and residential. Okay, I can remember what parks were. Parks, then commercial is blue, residential is orange, and industrial is the gray, I believe. Yes, okay. I was correct, going by memory. It's been a little while since I've played. And then anyway, we're going to be putting these down and creating a city. Now, here's where I don't know how much camera space I need because the city can be very dynamic. For instance, I could put the cards one by one in one really long line. I can build them like this, and they can even overlap. Like, let's say if I'm trying really hard to create a green group here for the block party, I could even overlay the card like this. I could overlay the corner. Basically, the only thing you can't do is you can't go corner to corner like this. You can even have gaps in the cards. Like I could totally do this and it would totally count. You just have to remember that for the outskirts, this would be considered the edge of the city, and this would also be considered the edge of the city, at least I believe. So I probably wouldn't want to do this with the roads. And basically, we're just trying to create the biggest city that we can. And basically, you lose points for roads. So you want to connect to your roads the best possible. So this would be its own road. This is its own road. That's probably not the greatest way to do it, but this might be better, or something like this would even be better. Now I have one whole long road, and I won't be losing points per road. And then in addition to the points that we get from these cards, you also get points for your biggest area of a particular color. So for instance, let's say this was my biggest residential zone of four blocks. I would get 4 points for residential at the end of the game. So your score is basically going to be the following. All the points that you get from these 3 cards, plus you're going to score 4 zones or 3 zones of each color, or no, 4 zones of each color. And then you're going to subtract all your roads. To beat easy, you don't lose points for roads. And to beat hard, you do lose all your points for the roads, but you only score the biggest of one of your 4 colors instead of all 4. So there's kind of a big differential there between easy, normal, and hard. That's something to keep in mind as well. But when I do the scoring, I tend to just score all 3, just because it's fun to see, what I would score. And basically, you get 3 cards per turn, and then you play until you go through all 15 cards, and that is it for just base Sprawlopolis. Now, I will note there are a bunch of expansions that make this more complicated. For instance, the beach expansion adds waterways where once you put them down, you can't build past that direction. Or Rektar, he comes in and stomps on your city, wrecking it. Or the construction stuff have all these various rules you got to work around. And then in addition to that, there are other versions of Sprawlopolis. For instance, there is, just as an example, if I can get it out of the box, there's Agropolis, which is its own theme, which kind of is more about farming, same kind of core rules, but uses a different color scheme and has its own goal cards and has some minor rules differences, but the idea is pretty much the same. Then there is, what is the other one? I don't think I've actually played the third one, Naturopolis, which has kind of a nature theme. And then there's Casinoopolis, which is actually, I think right now, being sent to Kickstarter people if you backed it, or should be soon. I don't have my copy yet, but it's either out or should be out soon. And then there's Comboopolis, which lets you combine all these into crazy bigger games. I don't know if Comboopolis works with the casino one or not, but I want to start playing these more. I think this is a great core game Out of all the button shy games, this is the one that I think holds its own the most against like big box games. You know, if this was a big box game, I think it would do well. Really, the only limitation is just how small it is in terms of cards, but it feels like a big, heavy game. So this is my favorite of the button shy games. I will say though, with one caveat though, I'm not good at it and I get stressed out when I play it. So even though I love it, I always feel really bad. Like this is definitely the type of game, like if you're playing by yourself, it's not a big deal. It's very quick. It plays in like 15, 20 minutes, or should, unless you're recording yourself. And we're already, what, almost 20 minutes into this because I'm explaining it. But it's the type of game you play, you lose, you play again, you lose until you win. And then, you know, there are some number combinations that like you might have to really puzzle out. In fact, there is somebody on BoardGameGeek, I think, who has played every single card combination. And I remember that there were some combinations that like the community had to come together to come up with the perfect layout for them to even like solve. So depending on what you get, some of the gold cards can be harder than others. And, you know, you just kind of keep playing and see how things go. But anyway, we're going to get started. Do my best to showcase the game, not be bad at it. And I will start tracking which scenarios we get through. And maybe in future videos, we can do more than one scenario. Today's probably just going to be one scenario, but the next time I'll play, maybe I'll try to tackle 2 or 3. And you'll see me win, you'll see me lose, and yeah, so let's get started. So this is already shuffled, so I'm just going to take the top 3 cards. I guess if you didn't want to see what was coming up, you could flip them up to the side. I don't know, there's not really a rule about it. And also, I should note too that this is, I think, originally designed as a cooperative game. I've always played it solo. This might be a game I play with my kid at some point, but I kind of feel like it's a better solo game than it is a cooperative game. I have played it once cooperatively, and it didn't really go well with the group. But yeah. Anyway, let's get started. So I have 3 cards. I really don't know what I want to start with. All 3 of these cards are kind of the same exact layout. These are the exact same layout. This is different. One thing of note is when they are different, you kind of have more opportunities. Well, not really, I guess. I was going to say you have more opportunities for combining the colors, but maybe that's not true. Maybe in my head I thought that's true. So anyway, we're just going to pick one. And I think for now, I'm just going to start with this guy. Has a nice little baseball field in the park right here. We'll grab another card and we'll see what we can do with it. All right, so we know we kind of want to loop the roads. So I'm going to kind of move this down here and kind of hope that this becomes like the edge of my city. And because I want to do that, we're going to see if there is any interesting way I can combine this card, keep the road going, and start getting my block party. And we also want it to be either really long or really tall, or a combination of the two. So I don't actually mind having like a long road going up and down, however possible. Is trying to figure out a way to do it so that we get interesting color combinations. For instance, like this, I get 2, but then now I can't do the block party unless I take another card like this and start overlaying it over the parts that I'm having problems with. So there's a lot to think about. And again, like I said, I'm pretty bad at it. I feel like I get better at it once I play a bunch of games in short bursts, but currently that is not the case. And then another thing you can consider is that you can put cards like this. So this would also not be that bad, because now we have one long road. None of these, right now these are going off the edge, but that can probably be fixed with cards like this, or even something like this would be really good to fix it. So yeah, we have that going for itself too. Also, I don't really know how this works with Sprawlopolis, but I guess we'll figure it out. Oh, it's blocks, that's right. So this would be 2 blocks high by 4 blocks. It's not by card. I always forget that when I forget to play. So anyway, I think we're going to do this for now, and we're going to see if we can leverage this road and block situation. This is our town right now, or our city. I think we'll do something like this, and then we're going to see if we can create some blocks. I have 3 roads, so that's something that I got to pay attention to. I like this for what we're doing. This is a good combo because now I can create a block here. I can try to cut off this block right here, and I can continue this block down there. So we're going to do that. Feels very symmetrical. And then now wish, kind of want no roads there or there. So let's see, what does this do? I think I like this. We'll just go for it. Then maybe, oh, actually, well, I guess it depends on what kind of card I draw, right? Getting a blue here is actually kind of rough with this setup. I mean, maybe there's a way to do it. No, because I don't think there's any cards that don't have 2. So I probably actually got myself into a bad situation there. So maybe, nope, these are all going vertical. All right, what can I do here? Maybe I can do something like this. That's probably not bad. Don't really know for sure. If I do this, I get my first block, and I have this road kind of going all the way around, which keeps our road count kind of down. Although I now have 2 roads going off the edge, which is not good for us. But maybe I can connect them to kind of not lose points. But we need 6 blocks if we want to make this not a nightmare. So we gotta kind of really hone in onto what we're trying to do here. So let's see. I do it like this. Is there a way to loop it up there? We really want more straight horizontal roads like this. So this is perfect, actually. We'll do it like this. Get another block going. I think we're just gonna quickly sneak in and do this. We got our block right there. Now also, if I go 2 more, kind of covered in a second, but let's say I do this. Actually, let's find a better example. Say I do this, and then this. I'm not actually doing this, but do I have the right cards for this? I don't think I do. Maybe I could do it from this side. It's probably the same thing, but let's just pretend. If I do this, yeah. So this would actually count as 2 blocks, or 2 groups of block parties. So that's something to consider too. This might be something that I do, because I keep thinking I have the right answer, and then it turns out that I don't. I don't even know if it's possible to get a straight one. I would have to have like a full straight line like this all the way up if I wanted to do that. I think we're just gonna do that. To get this road, this one long big road. Probably will regret it later, but maybe we can do something interesting like this now. Let's see. Probably won't work, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna see if we can get more block party out of this cluster of residential area or residential buildings. Feel like this is not gonna go the way that I wanted it to. Let's see, if I do this, we're making new roads everywhere. Let's see, this is pretty good. We'll do this. Then we have this one long road kind of going around, although I feel like I'm gonna end up messing up this road here because I'm gonna try to end up getting the big block party there. But we'll see what happens. A lot of these combinations were really hard to deal with. Let's just see. If I do it like this, there's no way to do that first. So I have to do that corner first. So what is the best way to do that corner? Do I want to start a new road? Is that worth it? Probably not. What if I do it like this? That I think could work. So we're going to drop that down. And then we're down to our last 3 cards already. So I think we're simply going to do the following. We are going to overlap this. So now we have just split up our long road, but we have a big block party. So we're going to hope that that does something for us. We have a decent Sprawlopolis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of Sprawlopolis going. So our goal now is going to see if we can get any of these roads to not be horrible. And also if we can get a little bit more block party stuff going. Because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks in our block party, and 5 is all we need. We get 7 points for that, so we don't have to go any higher actually. So we don't have to mess with that anymore. For some reason I thought it was 6, so that's good. How can we fix our road situation? Do we have any opportunities? Because right now we have 1 road that goes off to the edge, 2nd road that goes off the edge, 3rd, 4th, 5 of our roads are going off the edge. We tried really hard to not do that, but apparently my plan to not do that totally failed. So let's see. We do something like this, and then nope, that's gonna add a road. We do something like this, and then like this maybe. I think that's probably what we're gonna do. We get Weirdly enough, we get another block party, but we also make this green area stronger, make this one long road. So, you know, we're not losing a ton of points, but yeah, we're going to be losing a lot of points on the outskirts. I thought we were going to be able to handle it better than what we did, but let us score things and see how well we did. As you can see, you know, I'm sure there's people that can strategize way better than me in terms of this, but there's just a lot of just kind of going with the cards you have, putting them down and hoping for the best. Anyway, 1 second. So I have a box of things here that I use for various things, and we're gonna basically what we're gonna do is we are going to mark stuff as we score them, so that we can kind of score them and make it cleaner, I guess is what I'm saying. I have a way of doing this. 1 second. All right. So at some point, I think I'll do this a little bit better and do something more official, but I'm just going to use my phone to help score this. So first, we're going to score the outskirts, and basically, we're going to lose. Red will be points we lose, and I don't know, we'll use blue for points that we get. So we're going to lose 1 point for this road, 2 points for this road, 3 points for this road. I didn't see that little road there. 4 points for this road, 5 points for this road. Dip into another color here. Oh, no, I got it. Another red. 6 points for this road. 7 points for this road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to gain a point back for this road. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 1. So we're losing 6 points for the outskirts. So we're starting off strong. We are down -6 points. Then we're going to do the block party. Block party, I think, is very easy to score. We don't need all this. But for block party, we have 4, 5, 6. So we just get a flat 7 points if I understand the scoring on that. Most you can get is 7. And then Sprawlopolis, we just count longest versus longest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I think that's the best we're going to do there. So not the best score. I think we probably could have taken advantage of the Sprawlopolis in both directions. But so far, we are at 17 points. And we got to beat 18, 19, 21, 22. Okay. All right, so now we're going to score our largest groups. And again, right now we're going to do easy scoring, then normal scoring, and then hard scoring. All right, so residential, our largest residential is 9. So we get 9 points there. Commercial, this is our biggest group right there, 5. Industrial, 1, 1, 1. We have a 2. We have a 2 up there, so we got 2. And then our biggest green park is right here. So we get 5 points. That's another 21. And then now we're going to lose 1 for every road from the normal base rules. This is not related to the outskirts. This is just straight up, you lose a point for every road. So since we lost 6 points, we're going to lose another 7 points because we have 7 roads again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So wait, how did I get 7 points? 6 points before. This is why we do it. All right, let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. Okay. For the outskirts, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points that we're losing. Sorry. And we're losing 8 from roads total. So 7 for the outskirts and 8 on the roads total. All right. So for a normal game, or for an easy game, we have 37 points, which beats 22, 23. So we need 23 is our baseline for all these. We get 37 points for easy. We get 29 points on normal, but for hard, our biggest area is residential. So for hard, we'd only get 17 points. So basically, this would be a win for easy and normal, and then not for hard, assuming I didn't make any mistakes. But again, that's Sprawlopolis. So we covered all the rules. So next time I play, we'll kind of just get right into it. I think I want to try to use this as an opportunity to create some sort of scoring tool too, maybe to make the visuals more interesting. And I think I also need to set up different camera angles for this because this feels kind of zoomed out and not that interesting. I mean, I have this one, and then I have this one, but this one doesn't really cover everything. But if I wanted to zoom in and talk about stuff, I would kind of need to reset up my camera a little bit. But anyway, that's Sprawlopolis. And yeah, so win on easy, win on normal, loss on hard. I don't think I'm going to try to beat everything on hard. I think I'm just going to kind of use it as like a bonus thing every single time. But yeah, that is Sprawlopolis. Thank you for watching. Again, thank you for my patrons. And yeah, I need to play more games. That's what I'm trying to do. I need to review games. I need to do more stuff. I want to do some more live stream stuff. I say it all the time. It's all stuff I want to do. I just have to be able to get the time to do it. If I lose my job, maybe that could be something I do for a month. It's just live stream and record constantly. I am playing board games. I am playing video games. The video games are easier to just throw up because I don't have to do any editing. The board game stuff always takes a little bit longer because, again, none of this is my skill set. I'm just learning as I go. The whole editing process is kind of a pain in the butt, and the way that I have it set up right now takes a long time to do it. But maybe there's faster ways that I can adopt and be better at it. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to see more Sprawlopolis content, or if you want to see specifically Argropolis or Combopolis or Casinoopolis or Natureopolis, let me know, and I can mix and match and do all kinds of stuff. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.